So I remember when my kids were toddlers, which seems like forever ago and just yesterday to me if I think about it. When they were toddlers, they were just hustling for their own sense of independence. Every time we try and get out the door, we were usually in a hurry because I have 4 kids and we're usually running late. And so when they were toddlers, I would bend down and I would start helping them like get their shoes on or get their jacket on or something. And all of my kids, 4 out of 4 of my kids, they would look at me and say, "No, mommy, I do it." Which, of course is great for kids who are building independence, but it's really bad if you're a mom in a hurry. As they grew up, they demanded more and more independence from me. And I remember the first time my oldest son, Chase, wanted to ride his bicycle to school. He was in about 2nd grade, and it was kind of terrifying to me. There was a whole bike path on the way to school. He didn't have to cross a road or anything, but I think just letting him go and be that independent was really hard for me. And so my husband and I, we stood there, we gave him a hug. He had his helmet on. There he went down off the street. And I don't know what maternal instinct kicked in for me, but as soon as I couldn't see him anymore, I found myself running towards my boy who's going off to school. And I turned around after I realized my insanity. And I looked at my husband, and he's just sitting there shaking his head and laughing at me. And then they grow up a little older, and before you know it, they get their driver's license, and they're hardly ever home. And then even farther than that, they go to college, and then they really become their own person with their own thoughts and their own ideas. Some of it mirrors and echoes you, but they're really their own person. As you parent adult children, you can really only sort of influence them, and hopefully you influence them for the good. But otherwise, they're kind of independent. They're on their own. You see, I think there's a big part of all of us that desires this independence. We want to do things our way. There's part of us that always says, "I do it, mommy, I do it." There's this legendary singer, Frank Sinatra, and he's got this whole song about how proud he was to do it my way. We live in this culture that glorifies independence and doing things like my way. We say about people who we see as successful, we say that they're self-made or they're independently successful. We say things to ourselves like, if we don't find a way, we will make one. Essentially, it's the adult version of "No, mommy, I do it," we say to the world. So what does this mean when it comes to our relationship with God? Let's be honest, millions, maybe billions of people in our world, they don't believe in God. They push their own way through all of the things that this world throws at us. And I've experienced this on my own, this wanting to do things on my own and independently. But I think if we are trying to do things our way, we really miss an incredible opportunity. And that opportunity really is what the Bible calls to bear fruit. Jesus, in the book of John, Jesus says this. He says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch on me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, abide in me, and also I will abide in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself, but it must be part of the vine. You cannot bear fruit unless you remain in me." Jesus continues and he says, "I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I remain in you, you will bear much fruit. And apart from me, you can't really do anything. But if you remain in me, you pick up the words that I'm picking. If you remain in me and my words remain to you, ask for whatever you wish and it will be done for you, because this is my Father's glory." This is what God says to us about bearing fruit. When we realize that we can't just do it all and do it all independently, we actually, I think, are freed. We're actually freed to go ahead and blossom into those places of our lives that we are gifted and God is glorified. That we get to experience the fruit of community, the fruit of love, the fruit of grace, the fruit of generosity, the fruit of rest and Sabbath time, the fruit of peace. We don't have to go and do it all on our own. Instead, God guides us and protects us and leads us along the way. So I actually think that life is better when we don't do it my way. When we don't, "I do it, mommy." We don't do it all on our own. when we rely on God to help this vine and to be nourishes us so that we can go and help others, so that we can go bear fruit in their lives. So today, let's just get rid of the lie that says that we can do it on our own and realize and experience and embrace that we are better together. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, I want to invite you to share and subscribe. If you're watching on cable access, I'm honored you're here. We'll see you again.